Well, let's speak to Sue Turton, who's live in Benghazi for us. Sue, plenty of talk about Gaddafi's forces withdrawing from Misrata, but is that really the case? Do we know what's happening?
Well, the Libyan Foreign Deputy Minister this morning, Khaled Gaim, actually qualified that. He said that they weren't actually withdrawing. He just said that they were suspending fighting, as he's explained, to try and allow the tribe supposedly to find some sort of peaceful solution. This kind of gives Gaddafi two advantages, I think, in some respects. One, it makes it look like this is a tribal war and nothing to do with the Gaddafi government trying to put down an uprising. But also the question as to whether these supposed tribal fighters are actually former Gaddafi soldiers who have just changed to civilian clothes. If that is the case, it makes the airstrikes for NATO even more difficult if they cannot, again, differentiate between the two sides. And as far as the anti-government spokesman here is concerned, this is just a trick, and that President Gaddafi, rather Colonel Gaddafi, has no intention of any kind of suspension of fighting or any kind of ceasefire.
And what about the situation in the rest of the country, Sue? We've had Admiral Mike Mullen saying that despite what NATO have been doing, the country is moving towards stalemate.
Yes, that's not very positive from him, is it really? I understand from sources down in Ajdabiya that they do believe there was some sort of NATO strike to the west of Brega this morning or late last night. That area very much seen by NATO as a supply route for Gaddafi soldiers, and they really do want to try and cut off that logistical supply from the west moving east. But certainly to the west of Ajdabiya, the 40-kilometre mark we talk about all the time, there's a petrol station and a mosque there, so we kind of know where that line is. They're all saying that is where the front line currently for the rebels is, and the rebels certainly have been told not to move any further forwards. The army are further forwards, I understand, and there are scouts even as far as Brega Old Town, Brega New Town, completely empty of both residents and of Gaddafi forces, but it isn't really shifting. A few weeks ago we were seeing the front line moving even as far as 6 kilometres to Brega, but it has come back to within the west gate, just 40 kilometres from there. And yes, stalemate is all anybody talks about.
Now, Sue, you may or may not know the answer to this, but there was some rumours overnight that the head of the Libyan National Transitional Council had been killed, and pro-Gaddafi forces were certainly celebrating that as a fact. Do you know whether there is any truth in that at all?
As far as people here are saying, they believe it's just rumour. Where on earth that story came from, I am not sure. We're trying to get a government spokesman to come out and say whether or not that is true or not, but I know more than you at the moment, Shuli.
OK. Sue, thanks very much indeed for that update from you. Sue Turton in Benghazi there.